do it wrong. Because there's no right way to do it. There's a lot of people that tell you on how to make videos. It's like, oh, you need to find your niche. You need to go research a lot and make a script. You need to practice talking on camera. You need to warm up talking on camera. You need to do your bullet points. You need to always look at the camera. You need to always sit up straight. You always need to wash your hands. And a lot of these things are helpful for doing things. And there are ways of doing it. And I have done formulas before. But you don't have to do that. You can do whatever way you want to do it. There's no wrong way of creating. And some of the most creative ways of doing things is doing things wrong. I think there's a guy on, what is his name? Someone on YouTube, I think his name is Let's Game It Out, who plays video games wrong. He just does them wrong. And it's hilarious and very interesting to see how to break games and put things together. That guy's not playing the game right, but he's doing something right about YouTube because he's making something entertaining. Something that I've always hated about school, especially with one of my coding classes in college, was I was given a problem to solve and says, solve this problem. I forget the exact parameters and maybe I'm missing some details. But I did figure it out and I got the program to spit out the answer that was required. But apparently I didn't do it the right way. But I still got the correct answer. But apparently my solution was actually my answer. So that's weird. Anyways, I didn't like that I solved the thing that I needed to solve, but I did it in the wrong way according to the curriculum, which is, to be fair, is probably better to do things a certain way and be efficient. But if I was teaching it or doing it differently, I would have my students do it the way they think is right and then have them figure out how to do it better. Because I wasn't doing it wrong, I just wasn't doing it perfectly. And being perfect is impossible. Doing things accurately is important too, and efficiently. I get that. The only thing that I would say that you shouldn't do wrong is when somebody's life's at risk or you're doing surgery. Something like that. Other than that, you can solve things any way you want to do it. And I think that's something really interesting I've observed with like woodworking YouTube channels, is that I see a lot of woodworkers do similar projects, but the way they approach it are all different. Or some of them are very similar to each other, but there's no one way to make a chair or a bowl or furniture or coasters or a desk. There's thousands of ways of doing it. There's so many ways of making art as well, even within their own mediums. And some people be like, okay, you have to always draw with a pencil, or you always have to use a pen, or you're not a real artist if you don't draw in a sketchbook, or you're not a real artist if you don't do traditional. You're not a real artist. Like, there's a lot of people saying you're not a real artist, which is so stupid, because a lot of art and creativity comes from making something, creating something. And I don't care what your definition is. If you created something and put your effort into it, and you enjoyed it, and you made something that's cool, great job, you did it. And even then, you might have a project you want to make, but you don't know how to do it. And you could spend lots of time learning techniques and trying to find the right way to do something. Or you can just do it wrong and find out that it's wrong and come back and work on it some more. Even before sitting down to record this video, I was stressing out about making it as good as my other videos. And how am I supposed to know if it's going to be good or not? I just had to sit down and do it and find out if I was ready for it. I wrote down some notes. I tried to figure out what I could do. And I'm just, even if I mess up in this, I'm going to be proud of myself for doing it. So my main point here for today is saying there's a solution, a bunch of different ways of solving your problems or going about your art or creating content or writing or talking to people. But we can't live in fear of doing it wrong, because doing it wrong is how we learn. Quit messing up. Don't do it. Don't do it. You're going to do it wrong if you do it wrong. If you do it wrong, you're going to screw up. Don't do it. Don't do it wrong. Don't mess up.